and sunshine, rocking the good time with all our friends. Easy and carefree, out in the summer breeze, loving a simple things for hours on end. Right about sundown, we lay on the ground, count on the stars as they come out one at a time. Ain't this a sweet life?
Hey everybody, I'm X Factor winner Tate Stevens, and welcome to the Sweet Life Podcast, where we talk about everything from music, sports, food, entertainment, and, well, just living the sweet life. Hey everybody, Tate Stevens here along with AJ as always.
Yeah, man.
All right, man, today it's going to be kind of a loosey-goosey kind of show, but I'm going to be honest. This is for me, I think country the state of country music for me is it's in a little disrepair, I guess, or I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah, it needs some work. That's all I'm saying.
We'll dive into that.
We'll get into it right now. Talking about like John Mayer, talking about Steve Miller, talking about those kind of artists, Rush, Styx, Kansas. It's like the music was it's really good, obviously, but it's very cerebral. And a lot of times you listen to some of that stuff, and it's like, oh, that sounds cool, but it goes over our head. Maybe not really great musicians, you and other people, but for me, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it sounds cool, but I don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't get it. And it seems more to me like newer artists are really expanding the genre. It's almost like there is no genres anymore.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It's all kind of blurred together right now.
Yeah, because pop music, what is pop music? Literally, what's pop music? Because, well, I guess there's categories. Pop rock, hip-hop, pop stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe it's just, I don't know, country music. Country music is all the above.
Yeah.
It's rock music. It's pop music. It's even hip-hop music now.
Have you seen that meme that's going around right now on social media? It's like this dude, he's like, looks like an angry protester or something. He's got this sign he's hanging up above his head. It says, if you sing pop music with a southern accent, it doesn't make it country.
Yeah. Well, but now, for me, some of it's too far. Some of it just, like, how are you even calling that? How is that even remotely country music?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, let's look at some country artist.
Well, prime example. One thing I just figured out the other day, I was going through some old 90s playlists on Spotify in the car, and remember is it LFO, Summer Girls? Super poppy,
right.
Whatever. I'm listening to it, I was like, this sounds like Sam Hunt music. And then I played a Sam Hunt song. It's like the same, like the little.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No. Okay. So, right.
I was like, oh my God, that's what this is.
Yeah. It is that. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I think we've kind of strayed away from what country music is in today's country music.
Yeah. What it's traditionally been.
And okay. So, and I know some people were like, oh, well, we don't like your grandpa's country music.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah, absolutely right. Right. It's not that. It's not that I don't get the new stuff, and some of the new stuff's great. Mm-hmm. Some of the new artists are awesome. Some are not.
Yeah.
To me. But I think we're kind of getting outside. We're stretching way, way outside. Old Town Road, man.
Yeah.
I get it. I get the feeling, and you get some country artists to sing the part,
Yeah.
But it's kind of okay. That's enough.
Yeah.
But when is enough? When is far enough? Because people are buying it, or are they? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, people are buying it because they're force-fed it on the radio.
Yeah.
So if I play something long enough and you hear it enough every day, you're going to begin to like it or hate it. That's it. And if I push it and push it and push it and I tell you every day how great this is, eventually you're going to be like, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, nowadays, I think that the traditional country sound is the novelty.
Absolutely.
Like, remember way back when, God, what was that band? It was in the 90s. It's like the mid-90s. Smoking Armadillos.
Smoking Armadillos,
They put
absolutely.
out that, I'm a cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But anyway, that was like a novelty.
Yep.
And now, like, that's the norm. And like a Head Over Boots, John Pardee, or the Midland stuff, that's like novelty now.
Dude, Midland.
Chris Stapleton's novelty.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So Midland, there's a prime example of a 90s country band. Mm-hmm. They're not. It's put together.
Yeah.
But that's what they're doing. They're doing 90s country and they're making it work.
Sure.
You know, it's great. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
And people are buying it because it's good.
Yeah.
Right? But some of the other artists out there who've kind of really stretched those boundaries, and I'm not saying growth isn't good. It's good, but it's kind of like, okay, why don't we make a separate genre for that stuff?
I think subgenre
That's what I mean.
is
Sub.
because like the way I look at it, it's like if I look for traditional country, I can find playlist. That's what everybody does now. You can go and playlist traditional country playlist, pop country playlist,
Right.
Texas country playlist,
Right.
You know, you can classic country playlist,
Right, and I'm not saying
You know.
that I'm not saying that traditional classic country music is the best going.
Sure.
You know, there was some stuff that back then was terrible too. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
How is that even a thing?
Yeah,
You know, fast forward into the 70s, 80s, 90s, where I was growing up listening to country music. It's kind of like, man, okay, that was really good stuff. The songs had meaning.
yeah,
More than, hey girl, let's party.
Yeah.
You're hot. Let's drink some whiskey and party until the sun comes up.
yep,
You know what I mean? It had more meaning. It had life to the song.
Yeah.
It wasn't about just that one thing. And there were songs like that, you know, but the majority was more had more substance in the songs, right? To me, that's country music. To me, that's what country music is. To me, story songs are country music. Now they can be funny,
Yeah.
They can be sad, they can be happy. You know what I mean? But you know, like we're getting, and I'm not. You can't say Merle Haggard is the what would you call it? Like
the gold standard.
yeah, like you can't say Haggard's you can say Haggard's the standard. But what I'm saying is like today, you know, there are no Merle Haggards. There aren't any. You know,
Nope.
There probably never will be another one.
No.
Someone like that, who could write a song, who could sell that song, and you know, the storyteller that he was, his voice. I mean, he had everything.
Yeah.
It was all inclusive. He was just that thing. He was Merle Haggard, you know, and I don't think we're ever going to have another one.
Probably not.
You know, now does that mean that there's not great songwriters and singers and all that? No, there's. Look at Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton's a great singer, great songwriter, and he can tell a story. You know, he's a good storyteller with his music, right?
Yep.
So it's not that there's not any that are really good. There's just not going to be another one
No.
with that kind of reverence in the world.
Yep.
And not just in country music, because if you go and listen to other artists that out of the rock world and pop world, and you know, from a long time ago, they were like, dude, Merle Haggard was amazing.
Yeah.
His you know, the way he characterized people in his songs made you believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so right now it's like, golly. And I know, so look forward to artists like Luke Combs.
Yeah.
I think Luke's great. At what he does, he's great.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best singer in the world as far as, perfect singer.
Sure.
But he's really, really good.
Yeah.
And his songs, he's got some really great songs that he's written. So I'm like, okay, Luke Combs, and he broke a mold.
Oh yeah.
There's not going to be another Luke Combs, I don't think. And for very various reasons, right? Which is sad.
Sure.
It's not right.
No.
It's not right, because for 50 years there's been guys like Luke Combs that didn't have the look, they were overweight, they weren't the most attractive people in the world, male and female.
Sure.
And that were amazing artists.
Yeah.
Super talented artists, never got their due because the gatekeepers were like, you're too ugly, you're too fat, can't sell your image.
Yeah.
And then here comes Luke Combs.
Yep.
I'm 300 pounds of a big hairy man.
Yep.
And I sweat a lot. You know what I mean? But my music's good and people like it.
Yep.
So it's going to work.
That's kind
Ashley McBride. Ashley McBride.
Ashley McBride.
So
who is that? Why do I know that name?
she's amazing. Female dude, you'll know. Look up Ashley McBride. So she's 40 some years old. Not the skinny little model type female artist. You know what I mean? Tattoos, like.
I don't know her.
You don't?
No.
Oh, dude.
I may have heard her stuff before.
I guarantee you've heard her stuff. She's got a couple big hits.
She's from Hardy, Arkansas.
Yeah.
I know her.
Yeah. So, she is as country as it gets. She's Tammy Wynette. Mm-hmm. She's Loretta Lynn.
Yeah.
But she's Miranda Lambert. You know what I mean? She can sing. And you feel it. She's one of those artists that, writes, a great songwriter, and has been writing and been in town for a long time, in Nashville for a long time, and just never got her due because she wasn't the normal female artist. She didn't have the look, right? And then finally, people were like, give her a chance because people love her and her music. Yeah. And it worked. You know what I mean? But it's going to be hard pressed to find another one.
That's kind of
get it to work.
Well, that's kind of the beauty of today. Like you can have a viral video.
Yep.
On YouTube or social media,
yep.
And you don't really. That's really all you need.
It's so weird. It's kind
of awesome, though.
So yeah, I mean, it's great. It's great because we want everything right now.
Yeah.
Because of our phones. I told you to look at something, and in 3 seconds, you were like, oh, yeah, I don't know if I know her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We do that, and that's where we're going.
Yeah.
So, all the virtual stuff, that's where we're headed. Mm-hmm. Everything will be virtual, pretty much.
Yeah.
Sure, there'll be concerts and stuff like that still where you can go see somebody live, but everything else is going to be virtual. Your radio stations, everything will be Bluetooth to your car, which it already is.
Well, yeah.
I mean, meaning more so like everything will be that way.
Yep.
And so yeah, it's scary to me. It's like, man, it's crazy. I heard something that one of the big the big companies that like Garmin and all those companies, they've come out with a technology, and it may have been around for a little bit before now, but they are the ones, I don't know which one it is. They're coming out with a technology that if something happens to a pilot in an airplane, the program will land the aircraft safely.
Then why don't they just have AI pilots?
They will.
Well, eventually.
I mean, we have drones now that fly,
Yeah.
and people are on the ground watching a computer screen flying the drone. You know, a friend of Hayden's, that's what he does for the Air Force. He's a drone pilot.
Nice.
You know, yeah. I mean, it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But this company's came up with the technology to land aircraft on its own. So if something were to go wrong with the pilot and he's out of commission for whatever reason, the plane will land safely on its own.
Yeah.
That's nuts. I mean, that's crazy. Spooky.
Yeah.
But that's where we're headed. Flying cars, and we're the Jetsons pretty soon.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe before I die. You know, before my life's over, I think I will see. I mean, they have flying cars now.
Sure.
You know, the hovercraft things and all that, and different drones that have a cockpit where you can get in it and fly your drone, and you have 4 people, like a little helicopter, but it's like more, you know, smaller, compact. You know, but I think we'll see the whole Jetson kind of thing before I die. At least,
never know.
At least, you know, I mean, we have so much technology now, you know, with different things. But anyway, so back to the music part of it, though.
Yes.
On the music side, you're right. I mean, you get a viral video, and you know, if you're fortunate, you have a couple viral videos, and then you're set.
Yep.
You know, they'll come get you.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, hey, we want you. We're going to give you money to do your thing. Ryan Upchurch. I don't know if you know who he is. I didn't know who the guy was, you know, and I'm like, Ryan Upchurch, I heard the name before. And I watched a few videos, and I'm like, what is this? This is awful. I'm thinking to myself, you know, like the first few videos.
Yeah.
I'm like, what in the world? How is this even a thing? How is it even a thing? Then I kind of started looking through some of his stuff, and I'm like, he went through YouTube. He did the whole thing, kind of created that brand.
Yeah.
You know, but that's him. He's not acting.
No.
That's really him.
Yeah.
You know, that's what he does. You know, so I'm like, oh, Ryan Upchurch, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not really my thing. You know, I mean, I'm not a big Upchurch fan. I think I would, he'd be fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
You know, and party with. It'd be great. You know, but you know, is his music to me, is it great? No, it's not great. It's okay. You know what I mean? To me, I mean, other people, there's millions of people who love it. He's got big, you know, he sold a lot of merchandise and a lot of stuff. So, you know, looking at certain music things like that, you know, where we're headed in country music is different. It's, you know, and I'm not saying that it's wrong or bad, you know, it's not all bad. You know, there's still artists out there that are kind of waving the country flag, if you will. And it's not looked at as traditional or classic country music. It's just country music. You know what I mean? I heard somebody was talking about Garth Brooks. He's coming to Kansas City, obviously, on August 7th. Jerk.
Jerk.
What a turd. Anyway, you know what I mean? And here's the thing, you know, you're going to go, 100,000 people are going to go. By the way, it's completely sold out.
Sold out.
So if you're listening to this and you didn't get a Garth Brooks ticket, you can come to our show on August 7th at the Carnegie Amphitheater.
That's right.
And we are going to play some Garth Brooks music for the people who didn't get in. So, it's sold out. It's sold out in like 25 minutes.
We'll find out what his set is, and we'll just do that.
Yeah, and we'll do the ones we know. So you know what I mean. So it's like it's sold out in like 25 minutes.
Yeah,
and I'm going to be honest. If I went to see Garth Brooks, I don't want to hear anything new.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear it.
And by what I've heard, any concert that you hear at Arrowhead sounds like trash.
You know, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to get those big outdoor stadiums to sound good. It's just so much space to make, you know, to try to.
Yeah. There's no keeping the sound in.
No,
it's all
the one that I'd heard was the best, all-time best at Arrowhead Stadium was the Jacksons. When the Jackson 5 came when they were, obviously adults at that point. Everybody said that it sounded like the record. The whole, they were like, it was amazing. The people who went, who knew what music should sound like.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, maybe.
Best sounding concert ever.
I don't think Garth is going to skimp on production. So
no. He's got a great sound crew. They generally make everything sound pretty great in all the arenas that they go to and stuff. And they're used to playing big outdoor things like that, so they kind of get it, right? I'm sure it'll sound fine. My thing is, to go to see Garth Brooks, I don't want to hear him do any new music.
No.
You know what I mean? Okay, one new song, who cares? I don't care about it. That's when I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a popcorn tune.
Yeah. That's a drink and go to the bathroom tune. But it's just the old stuff. I want, it's kind of like when you go see George Strait. You don't go see George Strait for really any of the new stuff.
Yeah.
Even though he's had hits like yesterday. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's like, I want to hear Amarillo by Morning. I want to hear The Chair. I want to hear, The Cowboy Rides Away. I want to hear Ace in the Hole. I want to hear that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I want to hear. When you go see Garth, I want to hear the old stuff. Mm-hmm. I get it. You have new music. Who cares?
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
No one. I
know what you're saying.
I'm not being honest. I'm you know what I mean?
Nobody likes you, Garth.
Nobody likes you, Garth Brooks. They only like your old music. No, you know what I mean? It's like no, we want to hear The River.
Yeah.
We want to hear The Dance. We want to hear If Tomorrow Never Comes. We want to hear, The Thunder Rolls. We want to hear Beaches of Cheyenne.
Yeah.
We want to hear Wolves. We want to hear that stuff because that's why you're who you are.
Play Dixie Chicken.
Yeah. Play Dixie Chicken. Yeah. So, but my thing with music right now, mainly is just our genre of music, country music. The country music genre is so vast right now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of confusing because I'll hear stuff on the radio and I'm like, that sounds like Jason Derulo. Oh, it is Jason Derulo. And he's on the country station with Florida Georgia Line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. It's like, oh man, when are we going to quit?
Yeah.
When is that going to be its own sub genre? And have its own market.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? And I know that sounds dumb, probably to most people are going to go, you're an idiot. Yeah, maybe. But also, when I turn on the radio and I listen to country music, I kind of want country artists on there.
That's the problem.
But there's not a lot.
No.
Now.
That's the problem. You'll hear traditional country music, but it'll be from the 90s.
Right.
It'll be throwback stuff.
That's why I'm telling you, that's why KFKF does so well.
Yeah.
And they win in the ratings every year because they play country music.
Yeah.
And
Debbie still work for them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s country music.
Yep.
And they do the new stuff, obviously. They have to.
Yeah.
But they appeal to a broader audience than 104 and 106.5 because, and 106 they do okay job throwing in some 90s stuff here and there or early 2000s stuff, which is good. That's all good stuff too. Yeah. I'm just, it's almost like we need a whole different vein of, okay, here's everything that's new that's not in that, that's too poppy.
Well, like I said before, we do have that.
I know. It's all playlist stuff.
Yeah.
And XM Radio does a really good job of kind of breaking it up.
Yes. I kind of refuse to pay for radio, though.
I know.
I don't spend enough time in my car.
But I'm going to be honest with you, it's probably where it's going to go.
Probably. If I drove long distances every day, I would probably, like if I were a truck driver, I would have XM all day.
Because you get all the other channels too. You get the comedy channels and you get the sports talk channels and you get all that other stuff. And the news channels and whatnot. But like the highway.
Yeah.
They kind of play the new stuff and things that you've never heard of. People you've never heard of who are up and coming artists.
Yeah.
And you know what's kind of cool about XM radio? It doesn't matter who it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're going to play somebody you've never heard and a song you've never heard.
Yep.
And then they might play 2 or 3 of those things.
Yeah.
And then they're going to play a Garth Brooks song, or they're going to play someone else that you know,
Yep.
or a newer country artist. But then if you switch it to Y2 Country, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, here's all the artists you know. You know what I mean? And then, here's 90s, 80s and 90s country music, you know? Then you got Willie's Roadhouse. And then you got, you know what I mean? So it's like, wow, okay. All right. I can get everything I want right here in a box.
And there's a lot to be said for that. The mix.
Yeah.
It's I was actually doing something like that live with my band, my country cover band, the Mud Flap Mafia.
Mud Flap.
For our dozens of listeners out there.
Our tens of listeners.
Our tens of listeners. I was building our set lists of like I'd do like a newer country song, older country song, kind of a rock song, and then something kind of novelty, you know, or whatever, and just doing that over and over. And it's just like that. You could always count on like, every 4th or 5th song it's going to be an older country song or a newer country or whatever.
Yep.
And that seemed to work pretty well.
And it does. And
does.
like, okay, so even in live shows like my show, you know, I want to do some things that are newer. You cover tunes that are newer that people are going to know, because a lot of times people, even though, you know, I won the X Factor, some people are like, oh yeah, I know that guy, but they haven't seen me, or they're like, oh man, it's been a minute. So, you know, and then when I do my material, they're like, oh, okay. And then when I do something they know, they're like, oh yeah, that's great. Okay. I get it. Right.
Yep.
So you got to you have to do that anyway. And some cover music's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Believe me, if I could sing like Steve Perry, I'd have a Journey cover band. Not even kidding. That's my dream gig, is to have a Journey cover band. That's my gig. That's my dream. If I could do anything, that's what I want to do. And just because it's awesome, music's great, you know what I mean? But I can't sing like that. So
just an octave lower.
It's just, I could do everything. You just drop her down a whole step. But you know, that to me, we could rein in country music a little bit, as far as kind of getting away from what country music really is, and what it stands for, what country music stands for.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it is the working class person. That's working class music. That's what country music is. You know, in a nutshell.
Yeah,
you know,
supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
Yeah.
And we've kind of got away from that. You know.
Yeah. Now it's college kid boat music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is there anything wrong with that, really?
No,
Probably not.
no.
Probably not.
I can't really relate to it anymore.
I can't either. I'm too old. You know, and I'm not turning into my dad, you know, because, you know, I mean, my dad's like, listen, if it's not Merle Haggard or you know, it's not country music. Well, okay, I get it, but no. I'm a huge Cody Johnson fan.
Yeah.
I think Cody Johnson's awesome.
Yep.
And he's playing country music.
Yep.
And it's just country. You know what I mean? Heard 2 of his new songs. He released 2 new songs and heard them, and I'm like, it's good.
The Reba song?
No. They're actually new tunes.
Oh, so pretty recent.
Yeah. Within the last week, I think.
Gotcha.
And Hayden, my son, played them for me. He's like, Dad, here's Cody's new stuff, and I'm like, okay. He was like, I like this one better than this one. It's a little more commercial, but not too commercial.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's still doing what he does, and it's still country music, but it's a little more commercial because I'm sure they're going to radio with it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's got to have an element of catchiness,
right? And it is. There's some pretty catchy things in there, and there's some, you know, bells and whistles in it that some of his songs don't really have.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's still good, and it's still, you know,
check it out.
But just talking about him doing When Whoever's in New England.
Yeah, that's Reba McEntire cover.
That's great.
Yeah,
and just him and an acoustic guitar. That's great. I think it's awesome. I'm like, very cool. You know, moving. I hate saying so much, but
You do. You say that a lot.
I say it all the time.
You always say,
Absolutely.
and here's the thing. You say that a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I do. I say absolutely a lot. Absolutely is one of my favorite words. Absolutely.
Me, I just sit over. I'm like, yep.
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 Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
you said it again. Absolutely. But I think for all intents purposes with country music, we still have some people who are flagship country artists, and they're still doing their thing, and they're still kind of keeping it true to that kind of the more traditional. I hate saying traditional because it's not traditional, but the
If
more,
you're going to throw a label on
right, more traditional music, right? Country music. And then we have some artists that are so far left that there was a country artist. No, it was Ryan Upchurch. Ryan Upchurch was making fun of it. He had a video, and he was singing the song, and he was messing up the words, singing other words and stuff, making it up. And he was like, "Who the hell drinks apple pie moonshine?" Just, dude, it's hilarious. Just what he was saying. Oh man, it was fun. Anyway, it was just funny. But I think I like you listen to bands. I love bands, country bands.
Sure.
I love all bands, but country music, the bands in country music, like the Zac Brown band, are great.
Yeah.
They're great players. And Zach, I think he's a good singer.
Yeah.
I think he's a really good singer too. They're kind of eclectic, some of their stuff, but dude, you watch them and they get it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, they're cutting their gig, dude.
Yeah.
They are doing some work up there.
Yep.
And it's awesome, but he's not traditional country music.
No.
He's more southern-ish, rocky, not that even. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's got his own thing.
More leans towards the rock. Like if Dave Matthews Band was a country band.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah. And so but they play some awesome stuff. Like kind of, they play outside the box a little bit. Sure. But it's really good. Really good. So there's still some artists, and bands like Old Dominion. Got to write with Matt Ramsey of Old Dominion. And dude, he's great writer, good dude. It's fun. And I like their stuff. It's a little different. Sure. It's a little poppy sounding. Yeah. But his songs are pretty storyteller. I mean, he's kind of a storyteller, Parmalee, band you don't really hear about much anymore. Really good band. Really good dudes. Really good band. And good music. They had some good stuff. Yeah. Carolina, I think that was their first hit. Yeah. Man, dude, what a good song. And they cut their gig, they could do it live. Yeah. So there, I don't know. I've gotten to work. I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of artists and over the last 8 and 9 years. And I got to see them come up even. Some of them were brand new John Pardee. Yeah. Brand new artist. At the same time, our songs kind of came. His first single, and my first single came out at the same time, and played out in L.A. with him at a radio show out there, and good dude, goofy. Is he? Oh, good guy. He's a goofball, man. He really is. And he's super nice, but just kind of a goofball. Big. He's probably 6'4". Big tall guy, but he's just a goofball, man. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. No, but that's okay. Yeah. Another. Okay, we were talking about. You said something about Steel Panther a minute ago. Okay, that's awesome stuff, right? Yeah. parody. It's a parody on 80s hair bands.
Yeah.
But they're really good. Mm-hmm. They're killer musicians, great, and the music's good, right?
Yeah.
Was talking to a friend of ours who now plays with Stryper, and bass player. He plays bass for Stryper now. He was in Firehouse. He wrote their big hit. Maybe he wrote both of them actually.
Is it
Love of a Lifetime? Yeah. And what was the other one? Was it Carrie? No, wasn't Carrie. Love of a Lifetime. I'll have to look it up.
I don't know.
I have to look it up. But anyway,
Daryl would know.
Yeah. So, but Perry, his name's Perry.
Yeah.
Perry plays with Stryper now, and he played with Craig Morgan forever. It was Craig's bass player forever, ever and ever.
Oh,
big hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Perry. He's a great dude, great guy. Love him. Super sweet. But anyway, we were talking about rock music, because that's what he loves. Mm-hmm. He loves that stuff. So we were talking about rock music, and I'm like, hey man, have you heard Volbeat? He's like, oh yeah, absolutely. They're great. They're really good, man. I love it. He turned me on to a band called Santa Cruz.
Okay.
And he said it is a throwback, man.
Really?
I can't remember where they're from. They might be from Austria or somewhere like that. They're from across the pond somewhere.
Gotcha.
It's really good.
Really?
It's really good.
Santa Cruz.
Santa
Shout
Cruz.
out.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're really good.
Yeah.
And we got on the bus and I'm like listening to it and I'm like, oh my God, it takes you back. But it's new stuff. I mean, they're singing about things that are obviously it's not Steel Panther,
right?
But it's real. It's about as real 90s, 80s, 90s rock like that. It's about as real as it gets.
Yeah.
These dudes are just doing it, and they have some newer sounding stuff too. But like the majority of their that album that I listened to is like ooh, yeah. He turned me on to those guys, but. For me, like, rock music, we've kind of went through a lull of rock music too.
Mm-hmm.
I love the 70s rock. I love that what we call classic rock now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird because I'm listening to 101 The Fox the other day, and they played "Welcome to the Jungle" by Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. Dude, they were playing...
I'm like, is that classic rock already?
Yeah, it is. 90s rock is classic rock now. Jeez. They were playing Nirvana and Foo Fighters on there the other day.
Well, yeah, because it's Foother's Day.
Oh, God.
Because the Foo Fighters are coming to the amphitheater.
Been within the last few months.
Yeah, no. This was just the other day. This was 2 days ago. I heard a commercial for Foother's Day because the Foo Fighters... the Foo Fighters are coming to Kansas City to the amphitheater. What was Sandstone?
Yeah.
Now whatever the hell it's called
Sandstone.
now. It's Sandstone.
Yeah.
They're coming out there. So it was a Foother's Day giveaway.
Good Lord.
Giveaway. Anyway, and I can't believe that they're even on the classic rock station. I can't believe that the Foo Fighters stuff is on there.
Yeah. Well, if you listen to like 98.9, it's supposed to be the modern rock station.
Sort of.
It's all I haven't. No matter what time of day I turn that station on, it's all like 90s, or maybe like an early Linkin Park, early 2000s.
Yeah, so I know on the Johnny Dare show, I listen to that the most. Johnny Dare show in the morning when I'm in my truck and at that time of day, I'll listen to 98 and I flip back and forth, because he's just it's absurd what they do. And your chair squeak.
Yeah,
just tighten that thing up over there. Good Lord. I saw you had a look on your face. You kind of got like concerned. And I was like, what? And then I realized what you were doing. Man, if you would have pushed any harder, you'd be touching cotton probably. Jesus. Ow.
I'll figure out a way to edit that out.
Oh, you should probably leave it in.
Yeah,
good.
Nobody listens to it anyway.
Yeah, who gives a damn? Nobody cares. So anyway, I like, he plays a lot of older stuff. Johnny does. I know the stuff that he likes, but I like Shinedown. I'm a huge Shinedown fan.
Yeah.
I remember when they first came through Kansas City, and I'm listening to him. I'm like, dude, you can understand what that dude's singing.
Yeah.
And he's really singing.
Yeah.
Like he's really singing, and you can understand him. It's not a bunch of screaming and growling and stuff like that. I don't like that. I don't like all the
burp rock.
Yeah, I don't like that. I can't, because I don't, I want to understand what you're saying. And if you're just up there going, I'm like, sound like you're,
how'd that go again?
Yeah, it sounds like you're in pain. But like Shinedown.
I saw them with Van Halen back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
When they had got back together with Sammy.
That is awesome.
Well, other than Eddie being just completely trashed.
Really?
From start to finish.
Do you remember when they came? So David Lee Roth and Sammy both were out on tour with them.
I didn't see that one.
And they would take turns closing the show. So it would, like, Sammy would start half the show, and then David would come out and do the rest of the show, right? And then David would come out and do half the show, and then Sammy would close it out.
Who closed the one here in Kansas City?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. I thought that might have been the one you went to.
No.
I wanted to see that. Because both of those eras are great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The David Lee, you can't get much better of a frontman than David Lee Roth. He's a psychopath.
Yeah.
And then Sammy just has that cool.
Yeah.
I'm Sammy Hagar.
And a voice, man.
He can sing.
Especially back then. Oh. Now he kind of has to drop it down a couple steps.
Sure.
But, I mean,
who doesn't?
Who doesn't, right?
Who doesn't?
But he's 60 something. I mean,
yeah. That's a lot of tequila, man.
Yeah.
A lot of tequila and quesadillas. And that guy, but it's like those iconic bands like that. Love them still today.
Yep.
But and I like I said, there's some, like, Volbeat. Love Volbeat, because you kind of understand him. He has such a weird accent. Yeah, but it's kind of funny because I have to read the words a few times with the song, so I kind of understand.
Yeah.
What was the first song that I heard from him? Hayden's like, Dad, you got this, the Warriors Call, or whatever it is, what it was called. Let's get ready to roll. And
oh, yeah.
Into the fire, into the ring. You know what I mean? I'm like, I didn't know what the hell he was saying.
Yeah.
So I had to, like, looking it up. and I'm like, it didn't sound anything like what he just said right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he has that Finnish, because they're from Finland.
Yeah, they're
like Finland or something, or some Sweden or something.
Something like that, yeah.
So his brogue is amazing, and so when he's singing, it kind of comes out. But they're great.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great band. Mm-hmm. They kill it live.
Absolutely.
Kill it live. Hayden saw him at Rockfest.
Yeah.
With Papa Roach and some other things.
Papa Roach.
And Hayden's like, Dad, that dude from Papa Roach would go do a rail of cocaine and then come screaming back out on the stage and singing another song or something. He was like, it was crazy.
Cut my life into pieces.
Yeah. He said it was awesome.
Yeah.
But he was like, good Lord, that guy was all just cranked out of his mind.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Right?
Yep.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, man. Well, I guess ultimately, to kind of put a nice little
package in it,
put a nice little bow on this package, as far as, like, the state of country music, I guess was our kind of our initial
it is
thing.
I mean, that's kind of what
it's like, it's a big pool, the way I see it. You got the deep end for people that want to dive, you got the shallow end for people that want to lounge around. There's a lot of different ways people can get all their country music. Live and let live, and there's a lot of people out there that just, they want to fight, fist fight.
I know. I'm not that. I'm not that way.
I know.
I just have my opinion, and it's my opinion, and that's what it's about. But I would love to see more.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, this is kind of where this would be.
Yeah.
And this is kind of where this would be. But I guess with playlists and stuff like that, You just do what you want. You listen to what you
Listen to what you want.
And
that's the way I see it.
Yeah, I turn on the radio for about 3 seconds, and I'm like, nope, don't know it.
Yeah.
And I'm out, or I'm like, oh, that sounds, nope. Next. You know what I mean? And it's not that it's all bad. It's just not what I like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not what I want to hear when I listen to country music. So, not that George Strait has a million great songs, because some of his songs suck too. You know what I mean?
He's got at least 50 good ones.
He's got at least 65.
60, say, yeah, okay.
Yeah. He's got over 60 really good ones. You know what I mean? To put it, I guess, in this little package, so we're not straying. I know we strayed off in the rock thing and all that, but I love music, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
So it's like, sometimes it's kind of a passion. It's like more of a we're talking about our passion is music, and mine is country music.
Yep.
I love all different music types. Here, see what I did? I didn't say it.
Musics.
All the musics, man. I love them. But, I wanted to talk about some food today too, but I probably don't know if we're going to get to that.
We can do that next week.
We'll talk about that next week, because I am going to smoke some bologna. Now, I know what you're saying. No, I'm not putting it in the pipe. I'm putting it on the smoker and smoking it. I saw it on TikTok.
Really?
And it looks so good. And I'm like, oh, it looks so good. And it's so easy.
Yeah.
Like, literally just get a chub of bologna. I love that. I love they call it a chub. That's what the guy called it. I don't know. Is it really called a chub?
Boy, I could just...
Yeah,
these jokes, they're just such low-hanging fruit. I'm like, trying to take the high road here.
I know, but apparently they're called chubs.
Yeah.
So you get your chub of bologna and score it and rub it down with mustard, and then because that helps bind everything. And then you put your rub on it, throw it on the smoker for 2 hours.
Rub that chub.
Rub that chub down. Put it on the smoker for 2 hours.
Yep.
Apply some barbecue sauce.
Okay.
And a little bit more rub. Another 40 minutes. Slice it. Put it on a sandwich. And they put some coleslaw. They had some coleslaw they put on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it looked good.
Huh.
It looks so good. But I like fried bologna sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
So grew up eating those. Mm-hmm. So I love that. So I tried to get one today, but they didn't have any. They didn't have any chubs of bologna. Hey, I want to see your chub of bologna.
You guys got any chubs back there?
I just think a quarter chub would be great. Absolutely. Perfect. That's perfect. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening today. Be sure to subscribe to all our social media stuff. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating and leave a review, especially on Apple Podcasts, because that really helps us. Plus, we get to see what you're thinking. And if you like the show, good. Let us know. If you don't like the show, still give us a 5-star rating, and then tell us you don't like it.
And you know what? All joking aside, if you do like the show, share it.
Yeah, absolutely. Share on all your social media. Tell your friends. I know a lot of people still don't listen to podcasts. I mean,
which blows my mind.
I know, but that's a lot of people don't listen to them. Mm-hmm. But if you do listen, or you think you know someone who does listen, make sure you share it and say, hey, go check out Tate Stevens, the Sweet Life podcast. Yeah.
And check out our YouTube page, because our entire shows go to our YouTube page also.
That's right.
So
Yep. So anyway, all right, guys, thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you and see you next time.
Ain't this a sweet life?
Hey, guys, thanks for listening. Want to ask a question for a future episode? Well, hit us up on Facebook or Twitter with hashtag SweetLifePodcast. And be sure to give us a 5-star rating and hit that subscribe button. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to stay up to date on the latest news and information for the Sweet Life Podcast. And we'll see you next time.